All right, welcome back to video 3. This is about how to sell to a strategic buyer for top dollar. The last two videos we've figured out a whole lot of things, and now it's time to figure out how to exit the business on top by selling to a strategic buyer. My name is Walter Bergeron, and I specialize in doing just that for contractors just like you, showing them how to build their business big enough to where they can sell it for the 8-figure amount that they need to live the lifestyle of true financial liberation that you've deserved for working so hard in your business. So where are we now? Well, in the first video, we found our enough's enough number. We figured out just how much money we need to retire and live the lifestyle that we've always wanted to live. We also know how to exponentially grow our business from 6 or 7 figures all the way to the 8-figure level using those exponential methods. And that was what we did in video 2. Now here we are in video 3. We're going to show you exactly how to get out while the getting's good, meaning you're going to find out exactly what you need to do to find the right buyer who's going to pay you top dollar, well beyond any industry multiple that most people are getting out at right now. And you're going to have an exit plan to do that. By the end of the day, I'll show you exactly what you have to do. I'm also going to show you how to get the highest price for your contract in business. Now, this is not selling it the way that everyone else is selling it. We're not going to talk about selling it to a financial buyer or one of your colleagues in your industry or even to an employee or a valued family member. I'm going to show you exactly how to sell it to the highest price to the right kind of buyer, and that's the one that's going to pay you the most money for it. So who exactly is the right buyer? You know, in the last video we talked a little bit about playing checkers versus playing chess. And that's kind of what we're doing here when we're talking about selling your business and growing your business. So again, we're not going to use the simple method of selling a business like playing checkers. We're not going to talk about selling your business to a financial buyer, because that's the really simplistic way that all the other contractors are going to sell and not get the amount of money that they need to live the lifestyle of true financial liberation that you're going to get, that you deserve, because you are able to do it to the right kind of buyer, a strategic buyer. You know, most businesses, most contractors are valued off of the finances of the business. So they build the value of the business based off of your profit level or your EBITDA, which is an industry term of your earnings, or some kind of way that's linked directly to the finances of your business. But I gotta tell you that your finances or your profit and loss, that asset of your business has the lowest value to any buyer. But I'm going to show you how to break that connection between the value of your business and the finance of the business, because there's much more powerful ways to value your business, and it's got nothing to do with the finances of your company. But everyone wants to trap you into this checkers method of valuing your business, this simple way of doing it, because it's easy. It's easy to find out what the multiple is in your industry and multiply that times your profit loss statement. Hell, we did it in the very first video to show you the lowest price your business could be worth. We did it times 0.25 or 0.33 times the finance of your business, and that's what value came up with. Well, when it comes to sell the business, there's no way I want you to accept that low of a value for your business. And the way we do that is we sell to the right kind of buyer. And the right kind of buyer is a strategic buyer, not a financial buyer, not an employee, not someone that's going to pay you and expect you to finance this whole deal. We want to find a buyer by playing chess, by playing a little more sophisticated method of selling a business. And that strategic buyer is going to be a buyer who looks at all the pieces of your business, not just the finances. We're going to look for buyers who are going to look for all the assets your business has, such as the value you have with your customers, such as maybe you have a great way of performing a specific service. Maybe you have a high call volume. Maybe you've got all sorts of other assets in your business that are truly valuable to a strategic buyer, whereas they would not be valuable to a financial buyer. So we're going to get away from the financial buyer, the lowball way of selling your business, and we're going to move to the strategic way, the more complex way. Not that it's difficult. It's probably just as difficult to sell it to a financial buyer as it is to a strategic buyer. But the upside of selling to a strategic buyer is so much greater that it's worth a little bit extra effort to do this. So the strategic buyer is someone who's going to be able to extract maximum value from your company well beyond any multiplier. And the way they can do this, we'll get into here in a second, but the reason they're able to pay more for your business is because they're able to latch onto and identify and take advantage of all the other assets in your business, not just the finances. So, to sell to a strategic buyer, to get the highest price when you find your buyer, you're looking for this specific type of buyer. A buyer who has these type of characteristics. One, your buyer must have more capacity than you have, meaning they can take what you do and build on it in a much, much larger way. Remember now, you don't just have an HVAC contracting business now. In the last module, I showed you how to do a strategic acquisition. So now you may have more than one kind of service or product to offer. Maybe you went out and purchased a landscaping or a pest control guy or someone else in your industry who's another complementary businesses. So now you have multiple services to offer to your buyer. And you're going to find a buyer who has excess capacity to take on those new services and products that you have and build on it in a much larger way. When they can do that, when you show the buyer how much more they can take advantage of what you've already created, now you make your business worth so much more. So step one, find a buyer who has more capacity than you have. Step two is to find a buyer who has more capability than you have. Now, as an entrepreneur, as a contractor, I know you think you do a fantastic job, and you probably do. But when you're looking to sell the business, you want to find someone, and as much as it hurts your ego, you want to find someone that can actually do what you do, but better. You want to find someone who has more capacity and more capability than you do as an entrepreneur. That buyer is going to be able to take your business and by buying you out at any price, make it a real bargain to them because they're going to take what you've built and build on it so much greater. Add their capacity, add their capability to what you've already done and build their business even bigger. Meaning that you become the method to them to strategically and exponentially grow. Just like you did in the last module. Now you become the seller to this buyer and allow them to grow much more, to grow exponentially. And when you can do that, and when you show them that path, you now become a bargain at any price. And that price is going to be your enough's enough number. And the third part to this is you want to find someone who has better resources than you. You want to find someone that can invest money maybe into this business. Or maybe they've got 10 times or 100 times the customer base that you have. Maybe they got 100 times more employees than you have, or a bigger this, or a bigger building, or a bigger that. All these better resources is the buyer you want to find. So you want to find someone that's bigger and better than you are and sell your company to them for your enough's enough number. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to walk away with that list of buyers, at least a very small list of buyers, in the Contractor Exit Strategy program that I have. I'll show you exactly how to get a huge list of buyers, well over 100. But for today, let's just start with finding you a few buyers, a few potential best buyers for your business. So who is your best buyer? In this case, look, size does matter. You do want to find someone that's bigger than you. A good sweet spot for your buyer would be someone between 5 and 50 times larger than your company. So if you're doing $1 million a year, you want someone that's doing at least $5 million a year to 50 times larger than you, $50 million a year. And it's not going to be a single person. You're actually looking for a company that does this, okay? So maybe you did the exponential growth and now your business is doing $10 million a year. Well, that would mean you want someone that's doing at least $50 million a year. And if you look at that, look at you doing 10 million and a buyer doing 50, you can see how they can now afford to buy you out at the price you want. And if they're 50 times as large than you are, they can definitely afford this. But if you can show them how they can exponentially grow by buying you out, you become a great bargain to them. So your buyer is not going to be a person. It's not going to be an employee, and it sure is not going to be a financial buyer. You want to sell to a strategic buyer, someone that can most definitely buy you out. And again, just like as when we did the strategic and the exponential growth, we want to find another company who's not identical to us. You're not looking for someone that's another HVAC company or someone who's HVAC, plumbing, electrical. You're not looking for that. You want someone who is not identical but complementary to you. Just like we used when we went out looking for strategic acquisitions, we want to find buyers who share our customer base or find buyers who we can help grow bigger. So, the way to find the buyers is to look for them everywhere. So we just talked about a few criteria. We talked about the size of the business. We talked about now we want to look for someone who can exploit what we do. So everywhere you look, every interaction you have with a vendor, every interaction you have with a customer potentially, you're looking for customers or potential buyers that fit these categories. You want to look for someone that's 5 to 50 times your size. You want to find someone that can exploit, has better capabilities, better resources than you do. When you start looking, you'll see them everywhere, that these potential buyers are everywhere. Now, in the actual product that I'm going to show you, I'll show you exactly how to engage with that buyer. But if you can just start right now looking for them and finding them everywhere you look, you'll start to see that they're everywhere. You're going to look for buyers who have similar customer types and have maybe similar geography than you do, kind of doing business in the same area of the country you are. Maybe they have the same distribution channel that you do. They're not identical, but they are in some way loosely related to what you're doing. And now that you're looking, you'll start to see this relationship everywhere. So let's give you one more tool to find that buyer. Here's how you'll locate that buyer. What I want you to look for is someone who meets all the previous criteria: better resources, better capability, 5 to 50 times larger, similar customer types, maybe a similar distribution channel, and look for them everywhere. And the way you do this is I want you to look for someone that makes money when you make money. In the lower right hand corner, you can actually see one of the exercises that's in the contract or active strategy, and you can see that we're going to list a huge amount of, we'll better find a huge amount of buyers. But what I want you to look for right now, think about who makes money when you make money. When you sell a new installation, does the supplier that you're buying it from, do they make money? Well, of course they do. But who else makes money when you make money? Well, maybe your services are going to someone who absolutely has to have an air conditioning or an air handling system within their organization. Well, you're allowing them to continue to make money while you're making money, so your customers could potentially be good buyers for your business. So look for them everywhere you do, everywhere you're looking, everything you're doing. I want you to be looking for potential buyers like this. And a good place to start, one really powerful question that you can answer right now today is who makes money when you make money? So maybe those examples would be your suppliers, your office supplies, your tools, everything else that you're doing. Maybe it's your customers or your clients that you're working with. Maybe it's your customers' customers. So think about a whole new level of potential buyers. So maybe one of your customers is a great big commercial organization. Well, who are they serving? Who are their customers? Maybe that could be a potential place for you to look for buyers. So look for more than one level. Look for buyers in more than one layer of your relationships. Not just those you have direct relationships with, but maybe those you have indirect relationships with. Man, now you're going to start to see really quickly that buyers that fit these categories are everywhere. Now what I want you to do is I want you to be able to show those buyers why buying your company would make a huge difference to them. The way we do this is we identify your strategic assets, the things in your business that are not related to your finances that make your business so valuable. You know, when we did the acquisitions from the last video, we went out looking for other businesses that could kind of offset what we did, who would mirror our strengths and weaknesses. Now we're going to do the exact same thing when we're finding a buyer. We're going to identify a buyer that your company eliminates a threat for. So let's throw something out there. What if the buyer that's looking at your company had a threat like, maybe their market size was shrinking. Maybe they needed a great big infusion of new customers. Well, your business may have a huge list of potential customers that they can automatically put into their processes and start selling to. Again, this has nothing to do with the finances, but you now have a huge strategic asset to this buyer because you eliminate one of the threats that they have within their business. You'll have to identify these things for your buyer, and in the contractor exit strategy product, I show you exactly how to do that. But just start giving some thought to some of the people you're identifying right now. What threats do they have within their business or their industry that your business could potentially solve? This answer here starts to help you to identify those buyers who are willing to pay you top dollar. The other thing you want to do is you want to think about what buyers that your business allows them to exploit some big opportunity. Well, maybe your buyer has some kind of brand new home automation equipment. I don't know who they are. I'm just making this up as we go along. So maybe they have some kind of great brand new home automation equipment, and they don't have a bunch of buyers to sell it to. But you have a huge list and know how to get even more residential customers. You know exactly how to contact residential customers. You know how to get in their house. You know exactly how to sell them HVAC equipment and lawn care service or pest control service or whatever else you do. You know not only who these buyers could be, but you now have a pathway and a process and a system to sell to them. Well, that is a huge opportunity that you can show your buyer how to exploit when they buy you out. And again, this has nothing to do with your finances. So the bigger you are, you could actually sell for way more than any multiple in your industry, because now you're not valuing your business based off of the finances. You're valuing it based off of strategic assets to a strategic buyer. Now your business becomes so much more valuable than any financial buyer could ever pay you, because you're playing chess and not checkers like all the other suckers in your industry are doing. This is a high-level strategy. In the Contractor Exit Strategy program, you're going to get early bird access to. If you click the link below, you'll find out exactly how to do that for yourself. And it doesn't matter if you're ready to sell the business now. What this does is this positions you to be able to pull the trigger at any moment and sell the business on your terms, when you're ready, when you feel like you've found the right buyer. And it's got nothing to do with your age, your health, your need for finances. It's just when you decide you want to get out. This gives you freedom while still owning a business to be able to pull the trigger at any moment and sell the business to the right buyer at the right time. This puts you in a truly powerful position. So let's kind of put everything together that we've done over the last 3 videos. We know what we want to ask for the business. We know that because you figured out how much your enough's enough number is based off of the lifestyle you want to live. So now you kind of have an idea of the asking price you want for your business. Step 2 is who the buyer is. You've identified just by that one question we asked about who makes money when you make money. We now know who those potential buyer industries or even who those buyer companies could be. In step 3, we're going to justify the price that you're asking for the business by eliminating threats and exploiting opportunities, or at least showing your buyer how they can eliminate threats and they can exploit opportunities. Now the next step is to simply take all this work you've done here, put it into a nice, neat little package, which I can show you how to do in the Contractor Exit Strategy program, and send it to potential buyers and get ready to receive offers. Now, receiving offers doesn't mean you have to sell, but you can at least entertain the possibility of selling your business for multiples of what it's worth now. And even if you don't do the exponential growth like we talked about in Module 2, you could still potentially use what we talked about here in this video 3 about how to sell to the right strategic buyer. Your business may be worth the enough's enough number without even doing the exponential growth part of the Contractor Exit Strategy program that I have. Think about that. Think about the freedom you now may have being able to pull the trigger and sell your business at any moment, no matter what age you are or what stage the business is. This may mean that you could sell the business based off of these strategic assets even if your business is not making money, because we've broken the ties of the value of your business to the finance of your business. Now the two are not connected at all. The value of your business is now based off of the strategic assets that you get to identify, and that is completely reliant on who the buyer is. So finding the right buyer now becomes critical. Not about building a business to the industry's norm of whatever profit level they want. It's got nothing to do with the finances. It's got everything to do with the strategic placement of the business to the right buyer. All right, you have now gone through these 3 videos and got some tremendously powerful assets to work with. But what do you do now? Now you've got all this going for you. How do you put it all together? Well, initially you need a team. You can't do this on your own. It does take special skills to sell a business strategically. And you don't have those, which is okay. You don't want to do this anyway. You just want to have the right team come in and do this for you. You identify the threats and opportunities and all the other details, and you have someone else come in to help you do this deal. And selecting the right team to support you is really crucial in doing this. And that's actually part of the 5-step process of the contractor exit strategy, which is the program I'm going to offer you here. Now, if you want early bird access to this program, go ahead and click the link below, and you'll have access before everyone else does. Now, I want you to have access to this early because I don't have a lot of copies of this program and I may sell out. So I want you to have first crack access to this so that the other competitors in your market don't get this. So you can be the first one to take advantage of this. Now, this is the last of the videos until the training module is coming up, but you only get that by clicking on the early bird access that I'm going to go through here, that you're going to have right below this video. So if you go ahead and click on that link right now, you'll get early bird access to the 5-step process that's included here in the contractor exit strategy. Guys, good luck to you. I hope you take advantage of the contractor exit strategy, jump into the early bird access, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Thanks so much.